So this is second night of recording, but like on the car, we have Matt here tonight.
Hello.
He's gonna hopefully be the missing element that we needed to make this thing run. Quick dirty rundown. I don't like these carburetors, and we poked around the distributor a little bit because we weren't getting spark, so now we have spark. So anyway, we're gonna see if we can make it make noise. It was close.
Yeah, it was.
We're gonna get this back up. All right, this is it for all the marbles. Well, I don't know, because it was almost there, but if the timing were a little bit off, we could be getting, we're not getting fuel and spark at the same time.
I don't know. I think we need to eliminate some problems. This carpet might be a place to
start. Let's go. This is our Hail Mary, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. All in on this bad boy. All right. Get it. Ooh, it almost took off. Okay, go ahead. That was more than I thought. I don't know what that was, but
Yeah.
Yeah. It popped a couple times.
Really good. Yeah. It wants it.
Okay, so it was a timing issue. Mystery solved.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully that's not the only problem. Or hopefully that is the only problem.
There you go. Let me... So we picked it up on the lift. Yeah, it's actually an interesting angle to look at this car from. Not entirely discouraged. We've done a couple of different tests trying to get it up where it will do something. With the timing, get a little bit more pop and bang out of it. And I think we caught part of that on video. But there was this like terrifying noise it kept making whenever it would try to start. And it turns out the starter took a dive on us. So we're currently working on a fix. I got online and found out that there is a alternative starter that people have found that's like ridiculously cheap, and it gives you a gear reduction starter, so it'll spin the motor over faster and it sucks less juice when it tries to start the motor. That's kind of where we're at right now, and we'll give you a quick tour of the undercarriage of this bad boy since we have it up in the air. I didn't pick it up all the way yet. I'll give you the tour while hunching, so pardon my posture. You see, nice open mouth. We'll probably conjure up some kind of lower bodywork for the front end here. Retain the open mouth look. Probably do some kind of chin spoiler. I mean, the radiator in this thing is itty bitty. It's probably take the square turn signals out, do something round so it's a little more vintage looking. And without further ado, let's climb under there. So hopefully you can see pretty well. You've got your independent front suspension. It's actually got rack and pinion steering and disc brakes. The lighting's very terrible under here. I should have grabbed the flashlight. I've popped the exhaust, part of the exhaust out already. It's got kind of an hourglass chassis. The drive shaft actually fits up on top of the exhaust, and then the two run down, which unlike a lot of the MGs and stuff of the era, the Spitfire / GT6 are actually body on frame. As we venture backwards here, the floor pans don't look in terrible shape. Floor pans don't look in terrible shape. There's not a ton of rust on this thing. There's a few little spots, but nothing real concerning. Still around here, and hopefully you can see The booty's a little dented up, which that's to be expected. For this side, there's some weirdness going on here, and there's this beautifully scabbed piece of angle iron with probably stick welded bracket for that swing arm. It's got a baby independent rear end. Kind of swivel things around here with single U-joint swing axles. This is more what a Spitfire GT6 typically has. They didn't switch to this other side until later, but it's got a radius arm, it's transverse leaf, and then you can see your shock absorber there. But it's not overly discouraging. The rear end, although it's slimy, doesn't appear to be grenaded yet. But yeah, somebody got under here and did some work to this. I don't know if this ever actually saw the road with this repair done, because it looks like whatever went haywire under here kind of clobbered the fuel line there. You can see they patched that. And there's some mysterious liquid dripping, which I don't know what that's from, and I'm a little bit scared, to be honest, because the fuel tank's pretty much bone dry in this. So that kind of does it for your tour of the undercarriage of said GT6. Alright, we're back up top. I'm going to kind of give you a walk around and impart upon you my dreams and schemes for this project. I feel like we're at that point in the relationship. So bear with my jittery camera work as we wander around this thing. So you can see the back end. It actually doesn't have a terrible rear view. You can kind of bump it up there a little bit. I'm not going to put bumpers back on it. I'll probably knock out the major dents, plug all the bumper holes. You can see this one rear tire is tucking in pretty seriously. Got another rear axle for that side, so I'll swap that in and hopefully rectify that issue. The louvers on the quarter light, behind the quarter light here, I think I'm going to redesign those and make some that are a little more aggressive. Marker light may end up disappearing. Obviously it needs a few more lug nuts, and I need to find some jazzy center caps to put in here. You can kind of see there is a little bit of rust. I think this side on each quarter panel is about the worst rust on the car. It looks like this quarter panel may have been, or this rocker may have been replaced at one point. But this shouldn't be too terrible to rectify. Obviously I've taken chalk and embellished it. It's going to get the racing gumball. I haven't decided if it's going to be red, orange, or maroon, but it'll be something in that spectrum so that it's still along the veins of the original color. But the Spitfire is already red, so I don't really want to make two red cars. I'm leaning more towards orange than maroon. However, maroon I think would, in a satin, would give it kind of a good patina vibe. We'll probably rip the headliner, what's left of the headliner out, all the carpet out. Probably go with some like aluminum, custom made aluminum racing seats, and just like rattle can rhino line the floor and headliner so it doesn't look atrocious. Some paper thin flat aluminum door cards, and go like full on vintage race car vibe with it. So we're back to the front end. These giant bumpers, I don't know how I feel about them. I have gone back and forth about whether or not to try to trim them off and relocate the hinge point further back. It could potentially be a lot of work, but I think the overall aesthetics would benefit considerably from it. There's just not an easy way to make this obscure shape look good in my mind. So that's on the agenda, is I may hack this up, redesign all this so that it can be relocated like 4 inches back. It shouldn't adversely affect the geometry of the hood or anything, because we're going to be scrapping any semblance of front bumper. So that should buy us any clearance that we would need to make that change. Fun fact, the hump in the hood is more or less just to make it look like an E-Type Jaguar. Like, it is, sole purpose was to provide clearance for like the radiator cap. Like, that's it. So that being said, it's kind of silly that they have this huge hump in the hood for their radiator cap, but I'm not here to judge. Anyway, moving around, I don't know how well you can see here, but probably keep the factory door handles and hood latches. The hood latches go here, they actually hinge open and become a handle to lift the bonnet open. Front marker lights are already missing, so that'll probably get filled off. And then we're back to this atrocious camber. That's pretty much it for the walk around. Yeah, hopefully we'll get there. Mystery solved!